Test, test. There we go. Three, two, one. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another shitty episode of Ash on Comics Storytime Live, where I swear I think if there is a way to have a technical difficulty, I will find it. What's interesting is it's always a different way. It's not like I just the same things happen each time. So yeah, tonight, right as the music was, coming to a close, getting ready to launch, I jiggled the USB cord that my mic plugs into my computer by accident. Apparently, that port is loose on my laptop, and it cut out the connection to my mic, which is a Blue Yeti mic, which has its, if you know anything about computers, this will make sense to you. If you don't, this won't make sense to you. But the Blue Yeti mics with the USB, they have their own sound cards built into them. They don't use the computer resources for processing sound. So when you unplug it, it goes back to the computer, but everything is set up on YouTube to go through the Blue Yeti. And so when it reconnected, my Windows sound manager crashed because I was like, it jiggled it, like it disconnected, then reconnected really quick. Windows was like, I can't handle this, and blurted out. So when you guys were telling me, hey, there's no sound, I was troubleshooting behind the scenes. The problem was I could get my Blue Yeti connected, but I needed to go into the Windows sound properties to tell it stop using, because it wouldn't default back to the Yeti. It would just default it on my computer. And I couldn't switch, which would be a simple enough thing, but it was crashed. And I was like, if I reboot my computer, it's going to take 20 minutes to get all this shit back up. So I don't know what to do. So I switched USB ports and moved things around. And that's why you guys were hearing the computer noises and little Windows stuff. because it's basically Windows reinstall. Every USB port has its own. Windows treats it differently. So even like so, my mouse I had to unplug my mouse, plug my Yeti in there, then plug my mouse in the other port, and the Windows goes, we don't understand what this is, so I had to install drivers for the mouse because each port is different. That's how it works. Anyways, you guys are already bored and tuned out. Sorry. Thought I would just give you a little explanation so you could make fun of me. What a day. What a day it's been. Tonight's Storytime Live is brought to you by Monster Java. This is the Farmer's Oats blend of it's a Java Monster, I'm sorry, a little dyslexic, made with real oat milk. How do you know if someone's vegan? Not to worry, they'll remind you every day. Care to join the party? Or at least with just your Morning Joe? We've got you covered. We only use North American oats in our 100% dairy-free oat milk. Blend in premium imported coffee and supercharge it with the Java Monster Energy Blend. Light, smooth, and robust coffee flavor with a hint of hearty oats. It's never been easy to go guilt-free. Java Monster, sow your wild oats. And also, brought to you by Toblerone. You ever had a Toblerone? Swiss milk chocolate with honey and almond nougat. It's like that triangle candy bar that you've probably seen a million times and never tried. These things are amazing. So, pardon me while if I just chew delicious chocolate and honey in your ear while you've sat here for 15 minutes putting up with my bullshit. I'm sorry. Thank you for everyone for being here tonight. Thought I was going to have a nice smooth entrance. I had everything ready to go. I was a little bit late because I had work to do and I was pushing time, but there we go. Melissa's first. Good to see you, Melissa. Marania is second, waiting for the next exciting installment. I agree, isn't it exciting? I like this book a lot. Mark Millar is one of my favorite writers. There's something about him. He just has a certain understanding of writing that jives with me. Oh. And I don't know if the mic is sensitive enough to pick it up, but Kuro's making herself known. Here's just. Oh, my master is talking. It's time for me to start drinking a ton. Gulp, 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 gulp. Really? Is she an actual drink? Like she hasn't drinking for days. I think it's funny. It's not like she just comes up and takes a little sip. Still going. Are you almost done? I don't know if you can hear. I can't tell, but I can hear. It's really loud, so I figured you guys could. Show must go on. FF2 is here. Good to see you. Lord, Dragon Majesty. It's like the same old crew. Lord says classic Ash, right? I've failed. I failed hard, man. It's like, ever seen those viral videos, epic fail videos? Those are hilarious. That's me, like every day. Apparently YouTube's been acting up for a lot of people. Of course, my luck, it's not acting up for me. Everything else is acting up. RDV says, at least no white privileged circle of oppression. I think we could use a little bit more white privileged circle of oppression around here. Jimmy's in the house. How will you call him? He runs the Comics Quirks with Jimmy channel. In case you didn't know who he was. You can go over there and find some comic wackiness. He's recently redesigned his channel to have a bold new direction. So go hit him up. See what he's got going on over there. Let's see. RDV says Puppeteen got oppressed. Well, you know, all puppets should be oppressed. Oh, man. I don't like to chew in your guys' ear, but these things are fucking delicious. They don't stay cold very long. I had it in the fridge. It's already like melting in my hands. This damn Swiss chocolate. Okay, a bunch of people saying that they hear Windows noises and stuff like that. Jimmy says, "Have you tried finding the audio?" um, let's see. Animation in Castlevania is breathtaking, says RDV. RDV just discovered anime. Yeah, everyone give RDV a round of applause. Yeah. Good job, RDV. We're happy you found anime for the first time. I'm just poking fun. I'm sure he's seen at least one anime before. Right, RDV? Maybe. I've been kind of meaning to check out Castlevania. Vampires and horror anime just really aren't my thing, and Castlevania is kind of both, so I'll have to begrudgingly try it out, and then I'll be like, 3 months down the road, I'll be like, I'm bored. Let me try out this Castlevania thing. And then I'll be like, oh my God, why didn't anyone tell me about this sooner? And I'll be like RDV is now. Probably. It seems to be the way of things. Like Invincible. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, Invincible. Meanwhile, Invincible fans are like, yeah, 18 years ago, we already knew this. Ash, welcome to the club. Let's see. RDV says, I Love Puppets is at 36 now. We are getting views. Oh, are you streaming right now? Is that what you're doing? You're crashing my stream while you're streaming? We don't need an explanation to make fun of Ash. No, you don't need an explanation. I got egg on my face. I guess that's what I get for drinking vegan energy coffee drinks. No, I like the Java Monsters quite a bit. The problem is they're very expensive. And so I'm like, I'm not going to spend money on these things. But then I was at the dollar store and they had like cases of this stuff. And I was like, for $1? These are normally like $3 a piece. So I grabbed 4 of them. I didn't know it was vegan. I was like, oats milk? I don't care about it if it's oat milk. I like oats. Oats are fine. As long as it's not soy milk. It's fine. Let's see. FF2 says, I'm reading Firepower and it's awesome. Of course it's awesome. We've been telling you this for a long time, FF2. I appreciate you finally giving us, or me, I'll take all the credit, giving me the respect. The trust that I know what I'm talking about. It's a good book. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I wish more people would discover that book. More people deserve happiness. Melissa says, me and Jake are in the house. Well, hello to you and Jake. Glad to have you here. RDV says, Swedish Fish is the best. Incorrect. It might be the best candy featuring fish, though. Might be the best fish candy. I will give you that. But it is pretty good. I just had some the other day. Also got from the dollar store. And I was like, RDV's always fucking talking about. Sorry, excuse my language. Also, I'm going to set the timer. I got distracted. So 30 minutes we'll be reading the book. For those of you who can't handle talking about comics and hanging out with friends, you can know when we're going to read the book. But you're welcome to stay and enjoy. Get yourself a beverage. It doesn't have to be an energy drink. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic drink. Just has to be a drink. Hopefully pep me up, give me some energy. So anyways, my story was, I was like, RDV's always touting this stuff, and I don't want to be like him, where I'm just always shitting on the things that he likes. Wait, in reverse, like he shits on the things that I like. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to respect RDV's taste. I'm going to get me some Swedish Fish because he likes them. Let me give these a try. Now, I've had Swedish Fish before, but it's been a long time. And I remember liking them fine. They're just good, decent candy, whatever. But I was surprised. I liked them more than I remembered. So good on you, RDV. They also have some tropical Swedish Fish, which I've never tried. I'm going to try those. But today I was at the store and I picked up gummy bears. Oh, and Toblerone. Because I was at Target and they were on sale for $1. I was like, Toblerone for $1? Yes, please. RDV says Cowboy Bebop is awesome. It is. It's pretty good. I just actually bought it the other day. I used to have it on disc. Then I lost almost my entire physical collection of movies and TV shows and things. Don't ask why. It's a long story, but needless to say, I used to have a wall of DVDs, and now I have a small little box of DVDs. Most of the stuff now I go is just digital, so that doesn't ever have to happen again. And one of the things I was missing was my Cowboy Bebop collection. So I bought it off Vudu, had it on sale, and so now I have it again. So it's been a long time since I've seen it. I'm looking forward to getting reacquainted because I barely remember much about it. I mean, I remember like the surface traits, but I don't remember the story. So it'll be fun. Cowboy Bebop is cool. Gantz as well. I don't know Gantz. That's something I've never tried. RV says we ended our stream an hour ago. I couldn't tell. Zing! Just kidding. That was a bad one. I have to take them when I can get them. Apparently, I'm addicted to and drinking Pepsi, says Dragon Majesty. Oh, well, you're not alone. I'm addicted to Pepsi. I'm even more so now that Coke has gone totally woke. Call it Woca-Cola. Yeah, I'm too white to drink Coca-Cola, apparently. So, luckily, I like Pepsi quite a bit. RDV says Target is selling anime. Well, a lot of places sell anime. But like I said, I just buy it digitally these days. So, yeah, I got the entire Cowboy Bebop series. It might still be on sale. The entire series for $7.99. RDV says, anyone get Pepsi Blue? Wasn't that an old thing? I don't think it's currently going on, RDV. I could be wrong. I haven't seen it. I don't even remember ever seeing it. I remember Pepsi Clear. That was kind of weird. Yeah. Exciting. So, I went to the comic book store today. And not my normal comic book store, the one that's like far away from me that I told you guys a story before about. All right, I'm back. I caught the circle. This time I caught it. So normally I just talk right through it and you guys are like, we didn't hear anything you said. So I waited for the buffering to end. Don't know why that was. Threw the be right back slide up. So as soon as I saw it pop up on my iPad, that means I know you see it. That means I was live again. And there we go. Now we're back. That's my workaround. That's how we do things here out in the sticks when we don't have any high tech production values. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the store that I went to there, I told you about the story with Reckless and the guy was rude and I was going to go back, whatever. Anyways, so I found this book, Ultra Mega, did a video on it, Ash on Ultra Mega. Go check it out. It's an in-depth video on the first issue. This is a book that completely surprised me. I am a big fan of this book now. The more I think about it, I've read the book twice now because I had to reread it for the video to try to get myself in. I even took notes, tried to do a good video. I put effort into the video. And then I was like, I did 2 takes and I was like, man, this is lame. It came off really wooden and stilted. And so I was like, fuck the notes. I went back and did it my normal way. But I really love this book. Great. It has references to pop culture. It is a tokusatsu / kaiju type of book, but it's not the traditional stuff. So if you're a kind of person who's like, I'm not into Power Rangers and stuff, Ash, hey, I get it. Neither am I. And I don't think this book is still going to be for everyone. But for the people that does grab, it's really going to grab you. It's really, I love it. Like I said, I had to read it again. And then the more I flash through the pages and stuff and read the things I was doing in my video, I was like, man, this is really good. So that's all I got to say. Anyways, I got to find the books. There's where the story is going. So trying to find the hard copy books and it ain't easy. You can go to eBay, pay ridiculous prices. And also I want the A covers. I hate this world of alternate covers. Man, because the alternate covers are shitty. Especially on the cover or the first issue. Trad Moore did the alternate cover. And I was fine with his Silver Surfer Black. But holy shit, the cover that he did for this book is terrible. So, back to my story. So I'm out and about. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be in this part of town today where that comic book store is. And the guy at that comic book store is rude. And his store is jam-packed with comics. Like, so packed. I mean, he's got stacks of books on top of the back issue bins, so you can't even get into the back issue bins. You can barely walk around because there's just boxes everywhere. It's a mess. It's crazy chaos. And I was like, you know what? I don't think this guy moves a lot of books. So there's a good chance that what I'm looking for is there. So I was like, I'm going to swallow my pride. I'm just going to go and see if he has. So I give him a call. Yo, ring, ring, ring. Hello, such and such comic book store. Hey, I was calling to see. I'm looking for a comic book called Ultra Mega. I'm looking for issues 1 and 2. Do you happen to have those books by chance? Yeah, I know we have those books. Oh, great. Do you have the A covers? I'm looking for the A covers. I don't know. I'm working on an order right now. So I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, so I'm looking for those covers. So, well, I'm working on an order. I was like, okay, maybe I can, find out tomorrow or something. And I was like, oh, okay. When I open tomorrow, or I forget what he exactly said. And I was like, wait. And I was like, wait, so you're not open today? Yeah, we're open today. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I could come down and I guess look. Yeah, you can come down. Oh, okay, thanks. So, about a half an hour later, I'm in that part of town. I show up. Now, the guy who was too busy to fucking look for me while I called him on the phone, hey, can I help you with anything? Yeah, I called and I was looking for these books. Do you know where they would be? So he has to go look. He could have done this before. And guess what? Well, he did have issues 1 and 2, but he only had the B covers for 1 and 2. And he had a shit ton of the number 1 with the Trad Moore cover that's fucking heinously ugly. Not a single one of the A cover. So I didn't get to get any of the books because I want the A covers. So I left, and I was basically thinking to myself, I'm not going to make a scene because I might need this store someday. I don't want to. But I was like, motherfucker, this is why I called. Sorry for my French. I was upset. I was just like, and then the other thing too, because he's like, oh, that's another thing. So before I came down there, I said, well, I'm also looking for the second Reckless book. I need to get that because that was my original story, right? I went down there the day after New Comic Book Day, and he was already sold out. Yeah, I'm putting my order in. I'm gonna have to see if they got that book. So I'm thinking to myself, dude, I was here 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, getting this book, and you're only now considering reordering it? This is what I was thinking in my head. I didn't confront him on this, but I'm like, when I asked you about it on Thursday, April 25th, I want to say it was. Let me make sure that were the dates. What day was I down there? No, it would have been April 29th because it came out on the 28th. You were like, I need to reorder the book. You should have reordered it that day. Today is May 18th, and you're too busy to answer my questions because you're doing reorders, and now you're thinking about reordering it. And I can't express to you, I'm trying to do I'm just not doing a good enough job. the sound of annoyance in his voice, like I was bothering him. I'm just like, I'm here to give you business. I'm trying to give you money. You apparently don't want my money. And apparently you want me to also tell other people about the story, which people, these small business owners, they don't understand. It's not like you just piss off one customer and you're like, well, whatever, it's just one person. Those people tell other people. Furthermore, a successful store is successful because their customers have told other people. They go, man, yeah, I go to this store and they're great. They always do this for me and that for me and blah, 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 blah. You buy comics, you got to go there. People like to promote things. Like I'm always talking about firepower and stuff. When people find things that they like, in general, not RDV, he's kind of a hater. But most people, I'm kidding. But most people like to share their joys. Like, oh, I love this thing. I want other people to love it. It works with business. People find a good place that they like to shop. They want to tell everyone else, yeah, go to these guys. They're the best. Anyways, doesn't take a business degree. YouTube's going to take me down, says RDV. I don't need to be taken down. I have to be up before I can be taken down. Chances are that store won't last. You'd think RDV, but it's been around. It lasted all through COVID. I guess COVID's still going on, but yeah, it's crazy too because the street that it's on, there's 2 other comic book stores just on that street. Now the street's pretty long. It's like several miles long. They're not like next door to each other, but still, just on that street. You're in San Diego, home of the Comic-Con. Like, it's not like people don't have other places they can go to get their books, dude. And he's not even in like a residential section. He's in a commercial district. And that's the only reason I get out there, because I have business out in that area, and I'm like, oh, I have to drive right by this. But otherwise it'd be way out of the way. I don't know. It just annoys me. And I was like, I'm willing if I could find these books, cover price. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I just sit here and just bitch to you guys. You guys don't care. They're rebooting Rugrats and it looks horrible. This is Melissa. Everything they reboot's horrible. Speaking of that, I'm up to episode 5 on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh my God. I tweeted out tonight. I feel like I went through a struggle session. Holy fuck. That show just went complete Black Lives Matter. Man. Just Jesus. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm just like, how is it that the guy who's not supposed to be the good guy, the guy we're supposed to be demonizing, John Walker's the best dude in this show. Like, it shouldn't be hard to make your heroes above him, but they made Falcon and Winter Soldier into these self-righteous hypocrites. I don't want to spoil the show for anyone. There's good things about the show. It's got good production values, and it's after you get past the first 2 episodes, it picks up with the narrative. But then whenever it goes back, it goes into these politics, and each time, like, oh, what the suffering of being a black man in America. And there was a line where one of the characters who one of the other characters looked up to literally said about Captain America's shield that no one would look up to it. And certainly, oh no, what it was is like, they'll never let a black man be Captain America. And even if they did, no self-reflecting black man would ever take it. And I was like, what the fuck? Jesus, dude. Like, all right. Just, RDV says, I'm never sharing out this channel. Bad guest service. Oh, crap. No, I got to win RDV. I got to win him back. How do I win him back? Give him a complimentary meal. That usually works. Teen Nick Cares classic Nicktoons all night. I wish Boomerang would go back to its pre-brand look and shows. I don't even know what that is. Welcome, Zach. Good to see you around these parts. You've been a little bit of a stranger. I guess you've been taken over by your evil twin, Oni the Demon Slayer. Can't recall if I've seen that name before, but welcome. He says, well, word of mouth is best advertising. It's very good advertising. I very much agree. Zach says, how long has Ash been going? This is too long. Well, not so long if you consider my technical difficulties. I got 12 minutes left on the timer, if that's what matters to you. Has anyone been reading any good new books? I have. Did I tell you about this book called Ultra Mega? I made a big video on it. You should watch it. I really love this book. It's absolutely the top of my list. And it's a huge book too. That part I'm still a little bit unsure of. It's a 60-page book. I thought they were just doing that for issue number 1. No, apparently that's like every issue. 60 pages. Yeah. Zach says, sorry, I've been studying TTRPGs. TTRPGs? Is that, I don't know what that is. And RTV's been watching Castlevania. Well, you know, obviously my show sucks, so you're watching something else. But Castlevania can't be that good if you're watching it while you're listening to me either. So I guess it's a slight against both things. I don't know. Oh, it's tabletop RPGs. Back in my days, we just called those RPGs. I guess you new kids have a thing for it. Back when video games confused it, when they came around, and because, you know, I've been alive since before the video games, we just called it pen and paper RPGs. I guess nowadays there's a new thing, TT RPGs. You bunch of weirdos. Millennials. What are you going to do with them? Castlevania is awesome. I guess I'm going to have to watch this thing that's been around for how long? Didn't Castlevania come out in the 80s? Oh, you guys are talking about the anime. RDV says, it's hilarious. I love the F-bombs. They just come out of left field. That's kind of like this show. Maybe that's why RDV likes this show, because every once in a while I'm dropping F-bombs. So yeah, does anyone else read Ultra Mega? Am I the only one? I feel like I'm just talking to a wall. Sometimes I forget that I'm the only one here reading comics. Just kidding. Just kidding. Take a joke. But seriously, do you guys read comics? Because I talk to you about comics and I don't get much response. Maybe you just have comics read to you. Maybe that's why you're here. Maybe that's my audience. Maybe I should just shut up and accept those things. So here's what's on sale. I always like to find good deals. Speaking of tokusatsu, look, you can get a bunch of Power Ranger stuff. I'm not into that. Although I've heard the comic book for Power Rangers is different and better than the show, which not hard to believe. I could see a comic book of Power Rangers being really cool. A lot of anime on Comixology. Jesus. Like, I get it. I thought there was more stuff on sale. I guess not. Let's see. Another book that's super awesome is this right here, Snow Angels by Jeff Lemire. I only read it because it was Jeff Lemire, and I was like, whatever. I've never read a Comixology original before, and I was like, Jeff Lemire, Jacques, let me try this out because I have Comixology, and it's legitimately great. I wish this were in physical. I would collect this in physical. Or maybe they'll make a big trade out of it. It's only going to be 10 issues, so we'll see how it wraps up. I haven't seen the ending yet, but the first 3 issues are really good. I got to read issue number 4. Let's see. Zach says, I got a bunch of cool Defenders comics from the auctions yesterday. That's awesome. FF2 says, Ultra Mega is on the list. Yeah, my boy. FF2. I knew there was a reason I liked you. I'm going to start having to saving all my Breen jokes for Ash. Why, did something happen to Breen? Why don't you keep them for him? Dragon Master says, I like tabletop RGBs. I have a huge collection of them. I used to be way into pen and paper RPGs. What's this tabletop nonsense? But alas, as you get older, it becomes harder and harder to do. I have an RPG that I received as a gift. Ironically enough, I received as a gift, and then the person that gifted to me won't play it. I can't find people to play with anymore. But there's a pen and paper RPG that I really, really want to play. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it, but it's called Fiasco. And it's basically Ed Brubaker, a criminal story in an RPG. And the interesting thing about Fiasco is there's no GM. Everyone is a player. And the idea of Fiasco is that when you play it, you're supposed to create a fiasco. Like, it's supposed to go bad and everyone dies, or something like a Ed Brubaker story. Because things just don't turn out right. And you can watch it played online if you've never heard of it. But I watched Will Wheaton has this game podcast thing that he used to do. I don't know if he still does it. Anyways, they did it on that, and I saw it. They saw them play through it there, and I was just entranced. I was like, "This is the most amazing thing ever." But I can't get physical people to play with. That sucks. The Netflix show is sacrilegious, and I don't watch it. The games are better and have epic battles with Reaper. Well, Melissa, let's be fair. Castlevania itself, just by existing, is sacrilegious. I don't think. I mean, I haven't seen the Netflix show, but I don't think they have to do anything to make it sacrilegious. It already is. It's kind of hard to do vampire stories without being that. Man, I miss the days of comic book covers actually selling the comic book. Most of these on Comixology are unappealing, and I wouldn't buy them based on the cover alone. I'm going to guess that you're talking about Snow Angels. This is a terrible cover. This is a really terrible cover. This thing in the middle is the trench, I guess. But it looks like it's like on the face. This is terrible. Like, it makes it look like a nose. What is this? It's awful. Which is really weird because Jacques normally does very good covers. Like the cover for issue number 1, I very much liked. His art, his illustration is not my style. I think he's very muddy and sloppy. I prefer a more clean art look. But his composition is really solid. And here, I thought this really worked well. Just kind of the silhouettes, like going into the light of the trench. It's very ominous looking. But I guess you can't always win. Melissa says she doesn't like Netflix. There's a lot of cool shit on Netflix. Let's see. Netflix cutie film is disgusting. That's true. That is disgusting. I definitely Definitely have never touched cuties. As a matter of fact, I made sure to thumb it down so it doesn't appear even on my list. But I view Netflix as sort of like a movie theater. If like, I don't, if my local movie theater shows a movie that I don't like, I'm not going to just like stop going to that movie theater. How dare you? You showed this movie that I hate. It's like Netflix is, they're going to have to show things. It's a venue. Let's see. Melissa says games are not sacrilegious. They have references to all faiths and religions. And Simon is Catholic and uses holy water and crosses to battle Dracula. Melissa, there is only one God, according to Christian faith. If you're talking about sacrilegious from the Christian perspective, the fact that it has other religions, that is sacrilegious. Holy water is non-existent. Catholicism itself, borderline sacrilegious. Also, vampires, Dracula, getting his power from Satan, kind of sacrilegious. There's a lot to, I'm not going to argue religion here, but let's be a little bit fair. Kingdom on Netflix is cool. Kingdom. Is that the movie? I can't remember. I've heard the name. There's a lot of kingdom names. King and kingdom stuff on that. Zach says the Korean zombie show Kingdom. I don't think I've ever heard of that. My Netflix view pool is so huge. I'm just like so far behind on what I'm watching that it's so intimidating. I feel like I'm never going to catch up. And I got to admit, I got a little bit depressed when I watched Jupiter's Legacy. I was so amped up for that show, and then I was like, what the hell was this? Still, I like it better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so I guess that's a plus. No, not that it was really a terrible show, just a bad adaptation. But Netflix has got a bunch of other. It does have some good stuff. I watched a couple of movies. I watched what was it? The Thunder Force. Oh my, worst superhero movie ever. Jesus, don't. I watched it purely for the channel. I thought I was like, I'm gonna watch this and I'll make a video. We can trash it. And after I was done, I was just all the energy, even to make a roast video, was just gone. I was like, it's not even worth making a roast. Just roll over and die. It's just, oh, there goes the beeper. I feel like I watched some other things on Netflix recently, but I guess I can't remember them. I watched The Old Guard. The Old Guard, which is based on a comic that I think is on sale on this very list. I thought it was. Saw it somewhere. Old Guard is a comic by Greg Rucka about these immortals, and they can't die. I guess it's not in here, but yeah, Jimmy. By the way, Jimmy recommended it. That movie's terrible. Well, it's not terrible, but it's not Thunder Force bad, but it wasn't good, and it was woke. I was like, what the? I guess I should have expected Greg Rucka, but Jesus, you have 5 immortals. 2 of them are women, and the other 3 are gay men. Yes, the other 3, the only men, 3 of them are all gay. And of course, the new girl is the young little black girl who's a little Mary Sue. She's just super badass at everything. She's super annoying. You wish she could die, but she can't. It was just such a complete waste of Charlize Theron. I was like, this movie could have been really cool, but you couldn't. You just had to go that route of like every person in the movie that's bad is a straight white male. Like, I'm just tired of this. So tired of it. And you know, a lot of people will argue and be like, well, Ash, they're not preachy. The movie's not preachy. What they're doing these days now, they've realized that as soon as you like start preaching stuff, people, even the blue pill people, like tune out. So what they do is they turn down the preaching, but they just throw it out there. They just make sure that none of the heroes can be straight white males. They won't say anything. They won't mention it. That's just the way that it is. And the villains are all straight white males. And if you don't notice it, okay. If you don't notice it, you don't notice it. But once you become aware of what's happening, you can't unsee it, and you see it everywhere. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of this nonsense. I just want escapist stuff. And it wasn't like the story was even that good to begin with. You had this really cool idea of like, oh, these people are immortal. But you don't learn anything. Charlize Theron is the oldest one, and they make throughout the movie, they're like, how old are you? And she won't really say. And then they ask her, how old is she really? And they never really say, but that's the point. They never say. You never end up finding out how she is, even though they make a big deal out of it. You never find out where she came from. And you're like, I feel like I'm watching a Highlander movie where everyone's like the Highlander, they're fighting to be the one, except they never explain that they're fighting to be the one. They never explain what's going, like, it's just, oh, there's just immortals. Oh, okay. What's going on? We don't know. Just happening. The end. You're like, oh God. Jimmy says Olgart was awesome. No, it was awesome woke nonsense. They're just feeding you Jimmy just to get you to buy into that, just like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you're not aware of the subversive propaganda that they're doing, just weeding your way into there, just making Captain America be, no black man would ever want to be Captain America. It's like, fuck you, Disney. Yeah. Seriously. 2 women. Oh, by the way, I'm almost positive, if I remember this correctly, Charlize Theron was lesbian. So it's a lesbian, 3 gay guys, and then unknown black girl. We never see her have interest in anyone, so we don't know but I'm going to 50-50 she's lesbian. Zach says, dang, Rucka's branching out. He's writing gay women and men now. Zach says, just sounds like Berserker. No, Berserker much more interesting, because the whole thing about Berserker is finding out where he comes from. They're like delving into that. We actually learn some things in issue number 2. Like, it asks questions, and then it starts to deliver a little bit of answers to those questions. Immortal just asked questions and then didn't get around to doing anything about it. And spoiler alert, I'm about to say something that's kind of a spoiler to the show, although it's more of an epilogue, not really. But spoiler, the guy who was trying to kill them the whole time ends up being their boss at the end of the movie. Oh, hey, you're going to lead us now. Dude's been trying to murder them or imprison them forever. So that, like, torture, like, really? You're just going to be like, oh, we're going to accept you now. You're going to work. We're going to work for you. What? Stupid. This is mindless. Anyways, I need to get to the book before I get lynched. And I don't mean that in the racial way. I'm not trying to suggest I do have sensitivity towards certain people who are no longer alive, but they did suffer an inhuman crime against them. No one should ever be lynched, unless, of course, you did something really terrible, like be a bunch of terrorists and murdered innocent people, and then John Walker murders one of the terrorists, and then 2 self-righteous assholes named Falcon and Winter Soldier fight him to take his shield away from him, because it's not like Bucky hasn't been murderer for 90 years of his life, but God forbid John Walker kill a terrorist. It's just so fucking. Anyways. Zach says, Ash, you need to watch a good movie. Try Shadow in the Cloud. I don't know what that movie is. I have watched some good movies. I have. It's been a while though. It's been a while. I do try to watch mostly good movies. That's why I don't watch a lot, because I kind of can tell usually. But when it's free on Netflix, it's not as big of a deal. If I had seen Old Guard in the theater, I'd have been pissed. But Netflix, it just cost me 2 hours of my life that I won't get back. But that's all. No, it's better when you're not paying for something. You don't get as aggravated, which is why I think the comic book industry is in such dire straits right now, because only a very small percentage of comic book readers actually buy their comics. So many people pirate comics that when the comic is shitty, they're not upset because they didn't really lose much. It's much different when you pay $8 for a comic and it sucks. You're pissed. You're pissed. Imagine a comic. You spend more than an hour's wage if you're a minimum wage worker. It costs over an hour's worth of your wage to get a book, and then it sucks. Oh, wow. Zach says, "Is that the movie you said you couldn't stand in the trailer stand for the trailer in the Discord?" I'm not sure. Huh. Yeah, I'm sorry, Zach. I need more clarification. John Walker in the comics is a conservative, and here I'm sick and tired of Marvel vilifying conservatives. And the funny thing is, John Walker's my favorite character in the show. It's like they're like somehow trying to like paint him as like the bad guy, and I'm like, dude, he's the good guy. Like this, but that's because woke people treat liberty-loving, freedom-loving, free-thinking individuals. They think that they literally think those people are villains. Yeah, it's weird, man. Like, there's this terrorist group that has a super serum. So there's a bunch of, I think, half a dozen, basically Captain Americas running around, super power, and they're murdering innocent people. And Sam is very sympathetic to their cause because, of course, they're all people of color. Of course, Sam is very sympathetic to their cause, but John Walker kills the dude, kills one of them. Now I get it; he went too far. Like it's not something Steve Rogers would. I get it, but dude, this is a war against terrorists who are murdering people. John Walker's a soldier who did multiple tours in Afghanistan. Like it's not good, but hardly is it this vilifying thing. He's hardly a war criminal. Like it's like, but they the way the show does it, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to look so down on him, and I just don't. Zach says Zemo is my favorite, excellent villain, but Walker is close to favorite. I like the Zemo. He's a fun character. I like the way he's portrayed. FF2 says Bucky and Sam aren't innocent. They are no saints. They're soldiers. Exactly. And Sam is a pararescue. He's a special forces guy. Like, I get it if you're an ignorant to the world kind of naive person. You watch this show. Sam has seen heinous shit. You don't go into special forces and not see crazy heinous shit. Like, I'm sure Sam has killed plenty of people. But they never have to show that, so you can just tune out and be like, oh yeah, he's a saint. It's like whatever. The show would just be so much better if they just didn't go down that route. It's fine. Just have a story where you're trying to stop the terrorists. Why do we need to have all this backstory about, look, there was there was a Captain America before Captain America, and he was a black guy, and he was victimized by the man because all white men are bad, and they ruined his life, and he hates America now because of it. And I'm like, okay, what's the point of this story other than to minimize Captain America and say there was a black guy before him that we fucked over? Look, American history is already stained enough with shameful shit. We can learn lessons from that. We don't need to make fictitious bullshit up about a fictitious character who was fucked over by supposedly racist people that none of these people exist. All it serves is to create more racial division in this country by creating fictitious characters who are victimized, that these racist imbeciles that watch these shows identify with and care more about than real people. Anyways, I'm done with my rant. Sorry. I'm going to get into this book. This is book 3 of Reborn. And if you were here on the first episode, you got to experience the first 2, and you loved it. And if you didn't love it, you're malfunctioning. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully you loved it. I really enjoyed it. The art is beautiful. It's by Capullo. The premise, real quick, is when you die, you go to some fantasy dimension world existence, and that fantasy existence is divided into 2 sides. There's like the good and the bad, and the main character has died. She's an old woman. She dies. She comes back in her 20s, and she sees her father again, who had long passed before her, and he explains to her that the better of a person you were in real life, when you die, when you come to this world, you have powers. And so this woman apparently was such a good person in real life that she's been prophesized to be this great, powerful hero that's going to save everyone. Yada, yada, yada. And her husband had died before her, and he doesn't apparently, no one's seen him in this world, so she wants to find him, her long lost husband that she misses dearly. And that's kind of what's going on. They went to the Queen of the Fairies to seek help. The Queen of the Fairies was once her friend, but she's kind of all messed up from tragedies in her life, and so she doesn't help. And that's where we begin. So here, wait, I need a little wet my palate. Here we go. Dumbo. Wait, what? Sorry. Who the hell is that? Ernie Barbieri. He used to run that shop near our place. He customizes pets and takes them for a ride. The elephants love it. Give him a wave, kiddo. He was always really nice when you were a little girl. Hey there, Bonnie. Good to see you again, honey. Oh, shit. Chomp. Get under the trees. Schnacked. What's going on? Flock of dragons heading for the Darklands. They aren't supposed to cross the line, but I told you, they're getting bolder. Why does one of them have a lion's head? That's their king. I gotta figure out how to pronounce this word. Aramathia? Does that sound right to you? Aramathia? I'm gonna pronounce it Aramathia. Or is it Aramathia? Which sounds better? I think Aramathia. I'm gonna do that. Alright, take 2. That's their king. Arimathea. He's one of the Lord Golgotha's lovers, and most dangerous son of a bitch you ever met. Come on, let's get deeper into the woods. The last thing we need is those guys seeing us. Wait a second. Time out. There's this like, hey, this dude, he's like your friend. We haven't seen him. So, like, hey, he's just like, hey, what's up, Bonnie? Oh, shit. Chomp. Dun, 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 under the tree, get away. Just like, they already forgot about him. It's just like, let's get moving. Not even to shed a tear. Funny. Sorry. Continuing. I'm still shocked about Estelle White. All that history she and I had together. Just remember what she's been through. The more wedded to the old ways, the harder it is to adjust. This is where her husband's buried, the Fairy King. He came through years ago, but he was old when he arrived and died before she got here. That always makes it harder, too. What a lovely man Bernie White is. I don't know what I'll do if something's happened to Harry. Goddamn fairies. Would you stop buzzing around and gossiping while we're trying to talk? Gonna ask you a crazy question. Did your mother ever get married again after my accident? I've asked people about my funeral who showed up, but I never had the nerve to ask about Daisy. Relax, Dad. She stayed a widow. I wouldn't blame her if she'd met someone else. She was only 48 and not exactly short of admirers. Dad, relax. She never even looked at another man. I have to admit, I'm kind of relieved. Fuck. What the hell? Ugh. Wood. Ugh. Grr, Jesus. Yeah, get him, dog. Bark, 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 bark. Get this thing off of me. Aw, poor dog. Roy boy. Zach. Wow, the fairies are right. She really doesn't have her special abilities yet. Ilmago's Quarter, the Darklands. What? Where are we? I think they call it Big Trouble. They've taken us over the line, Bonnie. We're stuck in one of their shanty towns. I think this place is a local gangsters. Actually, I prefer the term entrepreneur. Trader Cotty. Oh, good to see you again, Big Tom. Darling, I don't believe I've had the honor. Who's this? One of the slave traders always doing raids on us for Lord Golgotha. And look what we found this time. You wouldn't believe the price the masters put on your heads. He's got everyone out there looking for Adistria's warrior queen. How grateful do you think he'll be to get his hands on your magic sword? Sorry about the dog, by the way. I'll get you for this. I promise. Oh, and don't waste your time with the chains, Big Tom. They've been reinforced with binding spell. Even you couldn't break through these. I assume you've heard the good news, General Frost? Oh, I forgot the voice I did for this guy. Oops. Sorry. Continuing. I've heard they're in Imago's quarter, so it's critical he doesn't hear about this. If he finds out you've got their queen, he'll take all the credit himself. Angling to curry favor for Lord Golgotha. Actually, I have my own reasons for wanting this woman. Well, you'll be pleased to hear she doesn't have any of those warrior skills yet. My men subdued her easily, as she isn't going to be leaving here anytime soon. We'll be there by midnight. Frost out. Dad, listen to me. Just because the chains won't break doesn't mean the pillar won't. He's very serious, old Frosty. Never takes time to enjoy himself. But I'm a man who knows how to have fun, especially when I've got some asshole who's caused me lots of trouble. You know how many raids you've interrupted over the past couple of years? How much money you've cost me? I used to work for the IRS in my old life. I enjoyed the sight of pain. Oh, yeah? Here's a freebie. Crunch. Ugh. Dad, now! Oh, Jesus. Crack. What the hell? Get them, you idiots! Keep running, Dad. I know what I'm doing. Wow. That didn't seem like a smart idea. Boom. Wow. Bonnie, we need to go. Take it easy, Dad. I've got this. Wood. Thack. Crack. How the hell did you do that? I've no idea. Just keep running. What about the sword? It doesn't matter. We can worry about it later. There isn't gonna be a later, you skinny ass little bitch. Bonnie, out of the way. What are you doing? Just get back. Creak. Doom. Dad, look out. Christ. How many of them are there? Quick, over here. I am a friend and can hide you. What? Hurry. You don't have time to waste. He's right, Dad. Just go. Ugh. Where are we? Looks like an old mausoleum. Hello? Is anybody there? We've been sent here by a friend. Help us. Please. We're political prisoners. You have to get us out of here, or we're going to be executed. Ah, hell. What's the matter? We've been tricked. I've just realized where we are. This is Black Wish Mountain. Where? Il Mago's dungeons for people who piss him off. Look at the Statue of Liberty. Oh no. Not to worry, folks. Nobody's ever here for long. Here's the issue 3 cover B. And then issue 4. Let's see. Huh. Not very talkative. Let's see, the chat hasn't moved at all. Boy, either the book is good or I'm pretty boring. One of the two. Yum, yum, yum. Man, doing these voices, I'm not a professional voice actor, and just trying to differentiate. Some of these are pretty big strain on the vocal cords. It's pretty tough. Do the voices help? I kind of figure I do that because I don't know. I listen to a fair share of audiobooks, and I listen to some narrators, and they just sort of just read everything the same, and then other narrators try to do voices. Some are really good at it. And I feel like it really helps when you can hear the differentiating of the voices to help identify who's talking. And maybe I figure some people aren't always looking at the screen when I'm reading. I don't know. So I try to do that just so it helps keep it clear for what's going on. Of course, that probably doesn't help when I fuck up the voices. But what are you going to do? You get what you pay for, as I always say. See, Melissa says, did Fairy King go to heaven after he died a second time? Well, that's a good question. I guess one has to wonder. If you die and you're reborn in this weird fantasy world, what happens if you die in this world? Is there like another place you go to after this? I don't know. We'll see if maybe the book explains anything like that. Ronnie says the book is good. The story is good. The art is good. I hope she gets her revenge on the people who killed Roy Boy. Definitely. Right? She needs to go John Wick on some people's asses. You kill a dog, man. That's game over for you. For Roy Boy. All right. Well, since you guys are obviously so enthralled with the story, I'm going to continue. Mago's gonna be delighted when he sees what we've got ourselves here. Dad, I think I can do this. Do what? Get us out of here. My fighting skills must be kicking in because I think I know exactly what to do. Do you trust me? Of course I trust you. Then duck! What? Ow. Choom. Please don't go. They're gonna kill us if you leave us behind. I'm on it. Nice 2 thumbs up. Bonnie, what are you doing? There must be 100 guards. And 1,000 prisoners. We've got an army once we open these cells. How do we know we can trust them? Because they want to live just as much as we do. I guess this evens the odds a little, huh? Ugh. Kill them! If we give them the woman, Il Mago may take pity on us. There's that old saying, Oh, what is the old saying? I just lost it. Shit. A damn Biden brain. Um, I forgot the saying. Never mind. What is it? Now that's bugging me. I forgot it. Damn it. It was something my old English lit teacher used to tell me. I forget. Well, sorry. That was dumb. Back to the book. Boom. You treacherous sons of bitches. You shock me. You shock even me sometimes. Blackwish Mountain. Why did they attack us when we were their only chance? I already told you. This is where the bad people come. Even if you're trying to help, they're always going to do the wrong thing. What were they going to do with us? Kill us on the Black Mountain and make Il Mago a little stronger? There's a power in human sacrifice, and Blackwish Mountain is the root of the magic in these parts. Everyone they kill here creates another wish, but it only works if it's something negative. You can never wish for anything good. Is this Il Mago guy an enemy of Golgotha? Are you kidding? Nobody's a match for that lunatic. Il Mago's just one of his trusted lieutenants. But he's a powerful sorcerer in his own right, too. He used to be a mob boss back in the old world, so he runs a tight quarter and knows how to follow orders. He took down 18 cops before they put a bullet in him, 10 more before they finally took him down. That's Ruby, Empress of the Stars. They got married last year and celebrated by burning 1,000 babies on a bonfire. She's a nasty piece of work. Sorry, I skipped over the other word balloon. She said, what about the girl? Oops. Continuing. You're not going to believe this, Dad, but I think she went to school with me. What? Hello, Bonnie. Long time no see. I hear the Adistrians have adopted you as their queen, but you've disappeared off on some kind of stupid quest. What are you looking for? My husband? Oh, of course. Well, I don't imagine he was anything special. You're being so tedious and ordinary. I'm sorry to throw a wrench in the works, but my other half said I might as well enjoy the happy coincidence. I always hated you at school. You were such a loser. How great I get to kill you now and gain a magic wish for it. Not to mention pleasing Lord Golgotha. Have you any idea how happy he'll be when they take out the woman that they said was going to kill him? Sorry, bud, but you guys aren't killing anyone. What? You're welcome to try, but it's doomed to fail because my daughter's destined to kill your boss and right a terrible wrong. This whole thing's been prophesized. Oh, really? Well, what about you, dear old Dad? Does the prophecy extend to your fat ass? I have no idea. All I know is that Bonnie's getting out of this and you're probably gonna die. Seriously? Well, she'd better be quick, because I have a very twitchy wand finger. What's the problem, Ruby? I don't know. It isn't working. Try again. You're embarrassing me. I'm trying. I just... What's the matter? I don't know. I can't feel my hand now either. Ruby. Oh God, what's happening? How are you doing this? Dad, was that you? Oh, yes. Absolutely. Your father decided to finally use those ice powers he neglected to mention. I like the dialogue in this book. Sorry. You really are as stupid as I remember, Miss Bonnie. Hello, sweetheart. You see who's got your magic sword? General Frost. Why does he think he knows me, Dad? You really don't remember me? The blue eyes, the white fur, the complete absence of reproductive organs that followed me here to the New World. I used to be your cat when you first got married. Frosty? General Frost. And I've looked forward to this for a long, long time. I heard about your quest, and I must confess, I had a soft spot for Mr. Harry. He was always very kind, and I remember him voicing some concern about my proposed castration. I could find him for you were I so inclined. Pets can do that, you know. Find their missing masters here in the next world. That's how all this might have played out, if only you had been blessed with some basic human decency. Where are you going, Miss Bonnie? You're surrounded. 200 of us, and you in chains. Shouldn't we end this while you still have your dignity? That's more like it. Now, in light of this terrible thing you did, I think there's something you might want to say before I form an icicle around your hearts. I've waited a lifetime for this glorious moment, and I recommend you indulge me, because I really could make this so much less comfortable. Just pause for a moment and look at me in the eye when you say these words, because I'm really going to savor them. In the eye, please, Miss Bonnie. I said, look me in the eye. I wish you were all dead. What? We're on Black Wish Mountain, so I'm making a black wish. I wish you were all dead. Oh, no. What the hell? Bonnie, you're a genius. You took down every one of them. I wish I could find my husband. I wish to be taken to him. I wish Harry and I were back together again. It doesn't work like that, honey. It needs to be something negative, like I wish these chains would just crumble into nothing. See? Is everything okay? Sorry. It's just this feeling when I'm in danger, like everything's surging, but there's still something holding me back. What do you think it is? It just takes time, kiddo. No. There's something else. Like there's a problem out there I don't even know about yet. We'll need to get moving and find ourselves another dog. There are some serious battles between here and the border. Spider City, Dead Man's Rainbow, Hooligan's River, and Ghostville, just for starters. That sounds like a lot of fighting. It is. Guess I'd better take my sword. The Darklands. Frost is dead, and his men are too, as are Il Mago and the Empress of the Stars. Of course they are. They were fat, and they were lazy, and they underestimated the challenge. But it's nothing for us to worry about. I already have a plan in place, and she won't be a problem for very long. Do you want us to keep searching for her, sire? No. I am going to lure her here instead. In the meantime, keep filling the pool with blood. We'll be 3/4 there by tonight, I think. Just 1,000 more to open the doorway. Will this really give us access to the world we came from? Do you really think we'll be able to go back and use all these powers we've been blessed with? I'm counting on it, Needlebed. I've got scores to settle too. Now, close the doors and give me my privacy. I wish to make love to my Arimathea. Wow, that's a serious case of furry bestiality. I don't know what to make of that. Ooh. Anyways, it's kind of a cool alternate cover. And here's a sneak peek at the cover for the next issue, what we'll be doing in 2 days. Let's see. Melissa, Melissa, are you the only one that's left? Did everyone leave me but Melissa? It's just me and you. Just me and you. Thanks for sticking with me, Melissa. It's nice to have one friend. Ah, man. It's interesting. I think Mark Millar found a way to tell the story of a female protagonist who's a Mary Sue and make it work. Like, I didn't think it was possible. I mean, she kind of is a bit of a Mary Sue, but she's not insufferable. And you know, that last problem that she solved, I kind of like, because she didn't solve the problem. She didn't defeat those enemies through sheer badassery, which would be, you know, normally what you'd expect. She had a clever solution. She thought about the situation they're in and thought about a solution, which I really appreciated. Yeah, I can totally see this being a movie and being like if they make it loyal to the book. And I think the lefty kind of woke crowd would be fine with this. Like they would just be like, oh yeah, like, curious. Ronnie says, man, that story was intense. So was the art. Frost was evil, but he got his just desserts, right? Frost was totally evil. And I like that he was the cat. Because that's what happens. See? Roy Boy, with you to the end. He'd stick with you, take a bullet for you. Cats, they'll turn on you, even in the afterlife. I hate cats. I don't hate cats. I love all animals, but I would never have it. I like other people's cats. She used the rules of the land and to defeat them. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a nice, clever thing. It's a fun little story. So far, it's not quite as masterful as, say, like Jupiter's Legacy. It's still one of the best things I've read from Mark. But this has all of like his skill as a writer. Like he understands pacing and he understands, like conflict and threats and resolution. And so you're just engaged. There's like an adventure going on and it's this weird fantasy world. And I don't know, if you're like me, you don't even mind the fact that the main protagonist is a Mary Sue. You're like, I don't care. This is cool. I don't know. Does anyone else? Are they having problems with her being kind of a Mary Sue? I mean, I know I generally have problems with that character type in general, but for some reason here it just works. I'm not annoyed by it, so just curious what you guys all have to say. And we find ourselves winding down, still before midnight, so I made good time, I guess. Everyone else left me. I'm so sad. RDV's probably off watching his videos, which would still be here. The Netflix didn't go away, RDV. You could have watched the show and then gone back to Castlevania. But I see how it is. Melissa says, my black cat is a good girl. She loves me and Jake. That's what they just make you think that, Melissa. Cats. She's just a good girl as long as you do her bidding. You don't own cats. Cats own you. Oh man. As long as you behave, Melissa, your cat will accept you. So maybe you have a nice one that doesn't. Man, some cats are mean. Now, all animals are generally pretty good. I always say like your pet is only, any. There's no such thing as a bad pet. There's just bad owners. So if you have a pet and it's mean or vicious or whatever, that's because they have the owner. And that's why my dog is the sweetest thing you would ever see. My dog reminds me a lot of Roy Boy, although she's a girl. But same kind of just, I don't know. I get a similar feeling when I see Roy Boy in action in this book. But I love dogs. They're the best. They love you to the bitter end, no matter what. That's why it always makes me so furious when I see people abusing their dogs. Because like the dogs will still love them, they just don't understand why, and you're just like they're being mistreated, and the dog's just like, I still love you, It's like Melissa says YouTube crashed tonight. Did it? I had heard some people mentioning it. I don't know anything about it. Hopefully my show didn't get affected. But there we go. So tomorrow night, I'm going to have a Criminal Cast. Hopefully you guys have read Reckless friend of the devil, because that's what we're going to be covering. And if you haven't, I guess we're going to spoil it for you, because that's what we do. We spoil books for people. Ed Brubaker writes some of the best comics on the shelves. Reckless is an original series that's not done in floppies. You just get the books. They're hardcover. They're $24.95 cover price. And I know at first, like, I was like kind of daunted by it. I was like, oh, geez, that's expensive. But the books are roughly about 6 comics worth of content. So 6 comics at $3.99 would be $24. So it's about the same price, except you get this nice hardcover. But more importantly, the quality is so good. The writing, the art, and they're just magnificent books. I can't even read like Marvel or DC. I can't read average books anymore. When you surround yourself only with the highest quality stuff, it really puts into perspective. It really makes it a lot harder to tolerate the cheap quality. And I think that's true with a lot of things in life. You know, if you only eat fine food all the time, and then you go to like McDonald's, you'll be like, oh, nasty. But if you're eating McDonald's kind of regularly, you kind of become accepting of it, and you're like, oh, this is fine. And I think that's true like with Marvel. I think people who read Marvel comics, they just sort of get used to that low bar, and so they're not. But if you just only read some of the best comics, and then you read a Marvel, you're like, whoa, what the hell is this? So hopefully you'll be there tomorrow night. We're talking about the book, and then back Thursday night for the conclusion of Reborn, which I'm very much looking forward to. I've never read this story, so I don't know how it ends. So I'm going to be there right with you. Hopefully, I will do my best not to have technical errors beforehand. That's really annoying. So sorry about that. FF2 says night, everyone. And I am going to echo his sentiments and say good night to you. Pleasant dreams. Hopefully these little stories tonight will give you something to drift off to sleep to, let your imagination run wild. Hopefully you're reading good comics. Next time I see you, tell me what you're reading. I want to know. I always am interested. If you're listening to this after the fact, you're going to type in the comments below. Tell me what you think about this book. Tell me if you like it, you hate it, whatever, what comics you're reading. I really just enjoy hearing other people's perspectives, whether I agree with them or not. I like seeing... I only can see the world through my lens, so it's always fascinating to see from other people's, like, you know, hear their perspectives, and it challenges me to see things in new ways. So maybe I can do that about Castlevania. Ronnie says, take care, everyone, and stay safe. Ditto.